How many times did you and Bob do that rooftop parking garage? It's episode 9 where it's just a big blow up.
Right. Jenny Hutchinson wrote that.
How many times did you run those lines? Because that's a scene, man.
We run all of them a lot. Yeah. That was a chunky scene.
Like for once, Kim gets to just.
Yeah. It was interesting seeing that come out of her. Likewise, in I think it's episode 2 with Hamlet, with Patrick Fabian.
Yeah.
Both times we had discussions about what does Kim's simmering over look like as a compared to someone else, because she's so
buttoned up.
And I don't think she really deals with her emotions that well. She seems like the more in control person, but to some degree, Jimmy finds some of it, not Chuck's death, but in general, he seems to just blurt everything out and process things, and
which can be healthy. Yeah.
Yeah, she's very buttoned up. So, like, what does that boiling over look like? And in both cases, it was the pretty elemental answer of just you have to play against, which in our craft is just the idea of try to keep it together, which is what most humans are doing. Until you can't, and go on that journey. And so the scene on the roof, I mean, we shot it many times. And looking for that, we were also looking for that progression, and also the unpredictable progression of when does it pull back, as happens in real life in an argument, where we don't all just go for the moon when we're in an argument. There's times where we, in our heads, think, man, I feel bad that I just said that. Why don't we bring it back? Why don't we take a break? Why don't we do this? And then the other person says one more thing, and you go, wait, what?
And it kept going.
It kept going, and it's also written very well that the audience, I believe, Bob and I still disagree, as we should, about who's actually right in that scene. Vehemently disagree. You can guess whose character we think is correct in that scene, but I also see Jimmy's side. I did love in that scene that you do see that Kim is not just some saint or a martyr. She has every right to say, don't. It's not fair to judge how much I care about you or support you solely based on whether or not I would have an office and a legal practice with you. Look at all these other things that should count. But she is aware that that is emotionally painful for him and won't address it. Absolutely refuses to address it or talk about it. And you see that in the scene in the Fork restaurant before, when she says she's going to go to Schweikart and Coakley. And I liked that, and I liked the element of the argument when he calls her on her, are we allowed to say bullshit? Of her that she keeps moving the line in the sand. She's playing a very dangerous game of who it's okay to con and who it's not, and what is for a good cause and what's not. And if you want to discuss how Looney Tunes that is, she shuts you off.